It was 2:47 a.m. when I heard the screaming coming from the walk-in freezer. I remember the exact time because I just checked my phone, counting down the minutes until my shift ended at 3, and then that sound. Not like someone stubbed their toe or anything, but this raw, throat-shredding scream that made every hair on my body stand straight up. The thing is, though, and this is where it gets weird, I was supposed to be completely alone in the store. My manager, Rick, had left around midnight, which, yeah, he wasn't supposed to do, but Rick was kind of a dick and honestly didn't give a crap about policy. He'd handed me the keys, told me to lock up at 3, and peaced out to go meet his girlfriend or whatever. So for the past 3 hours, it had been just me, the hum of the fryers, and the occasional crackhead trying the locked front doors. But now, someone or something was screaming in the freezer. I stood there behind the counter, spatula still in my hand from scraping the grill, and I felt my stomach just drop, like completely bottom out. The fluorescent lights flickered, they'd been doing that all night actually, and for a second, everything went dark, except for the red exit sign above the back door. "Hello?" I called out, and God, my voice cracked like I was going through puberty again. "Rick? That you, man?" The screaming stopped, just cut off, mid-shriek. And somehow that was worse than the screaming itself, you know? The silence that followed felt wrong, heavy, like the air pressure had changed or something. The ice machine chose that exact moment to drop a load of ice into its bin with this thunderous crash that made me jump so hard I knocked over the fry timer. I should have left, should have grabbed my jacket, walked straight out that back door, and never looked back. But here's the thing, and I'm not proud of this, I was broke as hell working this garbage job to make rent, and I couldn't afford to lose it by abandoning my shift. Plus, part of me was thinking maybe Rick came back and was messing with me. He pulled pranks before, stupid stuff. So I grabbed the biggest knife we had, this serrated bread knife, and I started walking toward the freezer. Each step across that kitchen tile sounded like a gunshot in the quiet. My sneakers squeaking, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, and underneath it all, this weird humming sound I couldn't quite place. The freezer door was in the back corner, past the prep station, past the mop closet, in this little alcove that always creeped me out, even during day shifts. The door was cracked open, just slightly, maybe an inch. And I could see this weird light coming from inside. Not the normal white light from the freezer bulb, but something bluish, flickering, like TV static if it gave off light somehow. "Rick?" I tried again, gripping that knife so hard my knuckles went white. "Dude, this isn't funny, man. I'm serious." No response. But I could hear something now. Breathing. Heavy, raspy breathing, except it didn't sound quite right. Too rhythmic, too mechanical, like someone breathing through a snorkel or something. I reached out with my free hand. My hand was shaking so bad, by the way, and I pulled the freezer door open. The cold hit me first, but it was wrong. Too cold, way colder than any commercial freezer should be. My breath came out in these huge white clouds, and frost was forming on my eyelashes within seconds. And the smell? Oh God, the smell. It was like rotten meat mixed with burnt plastic and something else. Something chemical that made my eyes water. The freezer was empty. Well, not empty. All the food was there. Boxes of frozen patties, bags of fries, ice cream mix. But there was no person. No Rick playing a prank. No crackhead who'd somehow gotten inside. Nothing that could have made that scream. But then I saw the wall. The back wall of the freezer, the one that should have been solid metal, was moving. Like literally undulating, rippling like water, except it was still solid somehow. And in the center of it, there was this shape, this dark, person-shaped silhouette pressed against the metal from the other side, like someone was trying to push through. The breathing sound was coming from it. I stumbled backward, nearly dropping the knife, and that's when the silhouette's hand punched through the wall. Not breaking it, not tearing it, just phasing through like the metal was just a suggestion. The fingers were wrong, too long, too many joints, and they were the sick gray-blue color like a drowned corpse. What the? I couldn't even finish the sentence. The hand was reaching, grasping, those two long fingers curling and uncurling, searching for something. I slammed the freezer door shut and ran. Straight up booked it across the kitchen, my shoes sliding on the greasy tiles, and I didn't stop until I was behind the front counter, gasping for air, my heart trying to hammer its way out of my chest. The knife clattered from my hand onto the tile. Okay, think, Jason. There had to be a rational explanation. Carbon monoxide leak making me hallucinate? Bad batch of energy drinks, early onset schizophrenia, any of those seemed more likely than what I'd just seen. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands to call, 911, Rick, my mom, and that's when I noticed the security camera feed on the monitor behind the counter. We had this old system, 4 cameras, and the green, black, and white feeds showed the dining area, the kitchen, the back hallway, and the drive-thru. I'd been ignoring them all night, but now I couldn't look away because there was someone in the dining area. A woman, I think. Hard to tell on the crappy feed. She was just standing there, in the corner, facing the wall, completely motionless. Her hair was long and wet-looking, hanging down her back, and she was wearing what looked like a McDonald's uniform. But here's the thing. The front doors were locked. I'd checked them myself at midnight. Nobody could have gotten in. I looked up from the monitor to the actual dining area, peering through the partition, and she was still there. Not on camera, actually there. Maybe 30 feet away from me, still facing the corner, not moving. And under the fluorescent lights, I could see her uniform was old, like really old, the style they used in the 80s or something. And her hair wasn't wet, it was dripping. Water was pooling around her feet on the floor. Excuse me? I called out, trying to sound authoritative and failing completely. We're closed. You need to leave. She didn't move, didn't acknowledge me at all, just stood there, facing that corner, water dripping, forming this growing puddle that was spreading across the floor. Then, slowly, so slowly it was almost imperceptible at first, she started turning around. I wanted to run. Every instinct in my body was screaming at me to get out, but I was frozen, just watching as she rotated degree by degree to face me. Her movements were wrong, jerky, like a video game character glitching out. When she was about halfway turned, I saw her face in profile. Her jaw was unhinged, hanging open way too wide, wider than any human jaw should be able to open. And inside her mouth was just darkness. Not darkness like you'd see in a shadow, but absolute void, like looking into deep space or something. That's when I ran for the back door. I crashed through the kitchen, sending a rack of clean trays clattering to the floor, and I was maybe 10 feet from the exit when I heard it, that same screaming from before, except now it was coming from everywhere. The walls, the equipment, the air itself seemed to be screaming, and underneath the screaming, I could hear voices, multiple voices, whispering, overlapping, saying things I couldn't quite make out. Names, maybe? Locations? I swear I heard someone say, "Help us," over and over, but it was hard to tell through all the noise. The lights started strobing, on, off, faster and faster, and every time they flickered off, I could see things, shapes, shadows that weren't there when the lights were on. They were all around me, closing in, and they all looked wrong. Human-shaped but distorted, stretched, with those same 2 long fingers reaching out. I hit the back door at full speed, and thank God it wasn't locked. I burst out into the parking lot, into the cold November air, and I just kept running. Across the parking lot, past the dumpsters, not stopping until I was on the main road under the streetlights, bent over with my hands on my knees, trying not to throw up. When I finally looked back, the McDonald's looked normal. Lights on, everything still, my car parked in the employee lot like I'd left it. For a second, I wondered if I'd imagined the whole thing. Then I saw her in the window. The woman from inside. She was standing at the front door, pressed against the glass, her face, her wrong face with that unhinged jaw, staring directly at me. And she wasn't alone. Behind her, I could see more figures. Dozens of them, all in old McDonald's uniforms, all pressed against the windows, all staring. I didn't go back for my car. I jogged to the nearest gas station about a mile down the road and called my roommate to pick me up. When he asked me what happened, why I looked like I'd seen a ghost, I just told him I quit. Didn't explain. Couldn't explain. Here's the thing that really messes me up, though. The next day, I drove past that McDonald's from a safe distance, and it was open, operating normally. There were cars in the drive-thru, people inside eating, employees working. I even saw Rick through the window, alive and fine, taking someone's order. So I called him. I had to know. Yo, Rick, did you come back to the store last night after you left? What? No, dude, why? Was there anything weird? Like, did the morning shift report anything strange? He laughed. Strange like what? I couldn't explain it. How could I? So I just said, never mind, man. I'm not coming back, by the way. Consider this my 2 weeks. Whatever, bro. Your loss. I hung up and sat in my car, staring at that McDonald's, watching people go about their day like nothing was wrong. Like there wasn't something living in that building, something that maybe fed on the people who worked there or trapped them somehow, collecting them. I did some research later. Turns out that particular McDonald's was built on the site of an old apartment building that burned down in 1986. 12 people died in the fire, including a bunch of families. The whole building just went up in flames in the middle of the night, and they never figured out what started it. I also found out, and this part really got to me, that McDonald's location has had 17 employees quit without notice in the last 3 years. 17 people who just walked off the job and never came back. Nobody thought it was weird. High turnover is normal in fast food, right? But I wonder about those people sometimes. I wonder if they saw what I saw. I wonder if some of them didn't make it out. There's this one other thing I haven't told anyone. When I got home that night and finally looked at my phone, I'd had like 6 missed calls from the store's landline, all between 2:47 and 3:15 a.m. I didn't answer because, obviously I wasn't there, but someone left a voicemail. I've only listened to it once. It was just breathing at first, that same mechanical, wrong-sounding breathing from the freezer. Then, right at the end, a voice. My voice, but not quite right, like someone doing a bad impression, whispered, "You forgot to lock up, Jason." I deleted my voicemail inbox after that, changed my number. I don't drive past that McDonald's anymore. I take the long way around, even though it adds 20 minutes to my commute.